Bonjour. Hi, my name is Sarah Phillips-Bourass, and I went to Brest with the IUHPFL in France in 2001 when I was a student at Terre Haute North Vigo High School. And I knew from when I first heard about the program that I really wanted to do it because it just seemed so sort of intense, and I had friends of mine who were older than me who had gone to Spain, I think, and so I knew that it had really been a cool experience for them. So I never regretted it at all. It was amazing. I came back from France and I had basically like gotten so into French from the immersion experience that I couldn't speak English anymore when we first got off the plane. And that was a little shocking. I remember crying in the car because I couldn't talk to my mom, and I really wanted to tell her all the amazing things I'd done and what a great experience it was. And like every time I tried to talk in English, French would come out, and it took like a day or two for that to sort of wear off. And of course, my English came back. So don't let that scare you off from it. But that's just to show how profoundly it really impacted my use of French, my ability to think in French. I started dreaming in French, and now I am a high school French teacher. I never would have gotten serious about studying languages, I think, unless I had done the trip to France. I always recommended the program to my students when I was a teacher in Indiana for 8 years. I taught at Signature School in Evansville, and we had a lot of students participate in all different languages, and they always came back so much more mature and confident, and their language skills were just through the roof, and then they really helped enrich our language program at the school during their senior year when they came back and were able to help their peers because they had learned so much while they were overseas. So I can't recommend it highly enough. I really miss having IUHPFL as a resource. Now that I teach in Florida, our school where I am now has its own exchange program that they're very proud of and that we encourage students to go on. But in the back of my mind, I'm always like, but I wish it was IUHPFL because our program's only like 1 week. They do get to stay with a host family and they're paired up with the correspondent in France, but it just doesn't do the same thing for their language skills as a full summer of immersion. And the immersion approach that I learned as a student in Brest impacted me as a teacher. I've taught in immersion for years. I still do, especially my upper levels. I still insist on them speaking French all the time. And I wouldn't have the confidence to teach that way and know how successful, sort of magical it can be if I'd never done it as a student. So if you're a student watching this, I really hope you will consider going ahead and doing it if you're a little nervous. It's totally worth the sort of what can seem a little scary at first, and I know that you'll look back on it and think that was one of the best choices that you made as a high school student. So good luck, bon courage, and thank you to IUHPFL for all that you've done for so many students throughout the years.